Big news from Ethiopia, where an African billionaire has signed a 2.5 billion US dollar deal with the Ethiopian government, and the billionaire was all praise for the Ethiopian Prime Minister. He asked Ethiopians to thank the Ethiopian Prime Minister. What happened? Why was this businessman all praise for the Ethiopian PM Abiy? Welcome to my views and news. Thanks for watching the channel. Firstly, mega project, another mega project in the news. By the way, these days, lots of mega projects are in the news in Ethiopia. Before that, a quick news story about Somaliland's recognition. Is the US government of Donald Trump, the president of the USA, going to recognize Somaliland as a country? Because addressing a question, Donald Trump said that his government was looking into the issue, a complex issue. Then a Republican senator, Ted Cruz, publicly, officially called for recognition of Somaliland as a country. Somaliland people, Somaliland government was very happy. Abdurrahman Ero then announced that he will visit the US, and Abdurrahman Ero nominated Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize, while we know what the US is doing in Gaza, where US is backing Israel's siege of Gaza, where people are dying and just international community just watching like a spectator. I criticized Somaliland, if you remember, when the president, Abdurrahman, nominated Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, the US State Department has made the government's position clear about recognition of Somaliland as a country. The US State Department spokesperson said that a recognition of Somaliland as a country is not in active discussions. US respects Somalia's territorial integrity and sovereignty, and US sees Somaliland as part of Somalia. So bad news, definitely a bad news for the Somaliland government. Somaliland offered its port, it offered a military base, naval base to the US. It offered its mineral resources to the US in the hope of being recognized as a country, but all hopes, it seems, have been dashed to the ground. Now, US State Department spokesperson is reiterating US policy about one Somalia. What will Abdurrahman Ero do now? Now, back to main news story, viewers. Another mega project has been announced in Ethiopia. It was announced a few weeks ago, but now formally a deal has been signed between the Ethiopian government and an African billionaire's company. The African billionaire's name is Aliko Dangote, known for constructing cement factories and fertilizers factories, not cement, fertilizer factories. He's a Nigerian businessman. A few weeks ago, we heard that Dangote had agreed to establish a fertilizers factory in Ethiopia. Ethiopian farmers face lots of difficulties because of shortage of fertilizers, because of high prices of fertilizers. Ethiopia is a landlocked country. It has to import fertilizers from abroad. Through Djibouti, it imports. Through Kenya, it imports fertilizer. Sometimes fertilizer does not reach on time. Sometimes it's overpriced. So farmers have been urging the government to ensure sustainable supply of fertilizer to the farmers. Eliko Dagnote is in Ethiopia in the presence of the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed and Eliko Dagnote. A deal was signed about establishment of a fertilizer factory in Ethiopia by Eliko Dagnote group of companies. The fertilizer factory will be constructed in 40 months, so it won't take long. 2.5 billion US dollar is the worth of this project. The factory will be constructed in Gode, Somali region of Ethiopia. When today Dagnote, Eliko Dagnote and Ethiopian PM attended the signing ceremony of the deal, Eliko Dagnote was all praise for the Ethiopian PM. He said, had the Ethiopian PM not taken such a keen interest in this project, it wouldn't have been possible. He said, he has been on my neck for the last 6 months. If it had not been like this project would not have been signed. So he gave a lot of credit to the Ethiopian PM. He said, building a fertilizer plants is not easy, it's not so quick. But Ethiopian PM took special interest in it. He was in touch with me. That is why it became possible. By the way, he asked Ethiopians that Ethiopians should be grateful to Prime Minister Abiy. It was because of special efforts of the Prime Minister that this project became possible. These businessmen, by the way, they know how to squeeze benefits from the people in power. They know how to make friends with rulers. That is how they make money. If they're not on good terms, on friendly terms with the leaders, they don't get projects, they don't get deals, they don't get tenders. So businessmen have to be on good terms with governments. Without that, they cannot survive. But overall, it's a good news for the Ethiopian people that a fertilizer factory is being established in Ethiopia. Several mega projects are being announced these days. I did a video 2 days ago about Kurmuk gold mine, which will start producing gold next year. 1 billion US dollars yearly income will be generated. If fertilizer factory starts work in the next 40 months, that will also be very beneficial for the Ethiopian farmers. Ethiopian GDP will increase too. GERD is due to be inaugurated in coming months. All that basically is being done to prove that Prosperity Party is building a new Ethiopia. And this is basically part of election campaign. Electoral campaign has begun. PP has begun its campaign. I mean, for PP, the electoral campaign means displaying its achievements. For opposition, electoral campaign means highlighting Prosperity Party's failures and weaknesses. Opposition is in a state of disarray. Prosperity Party is uniting, highlighting its projects, its gains, trying to convince the people that PP is working for a better, more prosperous Ethiopia. Take a listen to what Eliko Dagnote, Nigerian businessman, said about the Ethiopian Prime Minister today. Thank you for watching.
I must congratulate His Excellency. You know, it's not that easy just signing off having a fertilizer plant. No. In sub-Saharan Africa, as we speak today, Ethiopia is now, they are now the second. Apart from Nigeria, no country is doing urea, only Ethiopia. And other countries like Mozambique Tanzania, they have gas, but they are not lucky. There is no investor yet. But His Excellency said that I'm not going to sleep unless I come and build urea. So that's why we're here today. By the time when this plant is ready, the GDP of Ethiopia will increase. So it's a major, major milestone, which I think, honestly, the Ethiopian people should appreciate what His Excellency has actually, done. It's not that because he's my good friend and brother, but he's a great leader, where now he's focused. And, if he has not actually been on my neck in the last 6 months, this investment wouldn't have been possible. So I really thank him for the love of his people, the love of seeing that, yes, this country progress. And that's what you really look for as a leader.